Chapter 2901. Yes. Give it to me. Where's the money? Did you bring it? The man asked in a low voice. It's all here. Check it. Hui Yanyan tossed a canvas bag to the man, who caught it. He opened it and shone a flashlight on the bag to feel the texture of the money. After confirming that it was real, the man handed a black jar to Hui Yanyan. This thing is very powerful. You better be careful. I know, Hui Yanyan said. You better not open it. Don't deny it out of curiosity. You'll regret it. Stop nagging. Take your people and hand over the goods. Hui Yanyan was impatient. Seeing that Hui Yanyan didn't know what was good for her, the man didn't say anything more. He took the money and left. Hui Yanyan got into the car with the black jar and drove home. When she got home, Tian was still awake. Mommy, you're back? The child ran over and hugged Hui Yanyan's leg. She answered impatiently. Mommy, what's this? The little girl was curious about the black jar in her mommy's hand. Just as she was about to touch it, Hui Yanyan slapped her hand. The child's hand turned red from the slap. Don't touch it. Mommy, why are you yelling at me? You can't touch this thing, okay? Okay, Mommy. Seeing the pitiful look on the child's face, Hui Yanyan's heart softened. She put the black jar aside, squatted down, and hugged Tuntun. Baby, Mommy is doing one last thing. When I'm done, we'll leave this place, okay? Why do we have to leave this place? Isn't it great here? There's kindergarten, my good friends, and Uncle Shen. This place can't hold us anymore. You and Mommy have to leave this place this time. After we avenge Grandma, we'll leave and never come back. Mommy, what's revenge? Tian asked innocently. Mommy will tell you about it later. After comforting her daughter, Hui Yanyan went upstairs to pack her luggage. She had already booked a flight to S-City, where Hui Yanyan had already arranged a house through an intermediary. Once she was done with this matter, she would leave with her daughter. She would entrust her daughter to help her sell the house and car. She exchanged the items in her hands for a large amount of cash and planned to move to S-City with her daughter. At the very least, he would have to live there for a few years, because she knew that after this incident, Qin Chu would probably chase her to the ends of the earth to kill her. When she was packing, she accidentally found one of Shen Mingxi's ties. It was his favorite. She had saved up for a long time to buy it for him. It had a different meaning. Unfortunately, he even left his tie behind. Hui Yanyan stared at the necktie in a daze for a long time. Then, she carefully put the necktie away and put it in the suitcase. Perhaps there was only one last memory left between her and Shen Mingxi. After she finished packing, Hui Yanyan coaxed her daughter to sleep. At 4:30 a.m., she got up in the dark and went to the back door of Southside Recuperation Center. She handed over the brown paper containing the money. Here's 50,000 yuan, Hui Yanyan said. The man didn't say anything. I don't care how you do it, but put this in Huomin's office, Hui Yanyan ordered. The vice director is on vacation. She hasn't been here for a long time. The man's voice sounded old. I have a way to make her come back today. Just put it there. After hesitating for a moment, the man slowly reached out his hand and took the heavy 50,000 yuan. Chapter 2902. Seeing the man take the money, Hui Yanyan smiled proudly. The truth was, she never thought that she and Huomin would get to this point. She used to think that she could be friends with Huomin, just like everyone else. The so-called everyone else was Zhu Lingling, Jiang Xiaowei, and the others. However, this time, her mother's death was definitely Qin Chu's doing. Whether it was Qin Chu or Su Yu, they were definitely related to Huomin. The most painful thing for those two men was to lose Huomin forever. Even someone like Hui Yanyan could see the truth. It was obvious how much the two men loved Huomin. At South Hill Manor, Huomin listened to Qin Chu and chose to stay at home or go to the hospital. Huomin chose to stay at home because he could spend time with his daughters. It was rare for him to have some free time. During the day, he made some handmade cookies and chocolate for the children. At night, he accompanied the children to watch cartoons and some parent-child programs. He also gave them prenatal education. His life was very comfortable. When Jixin sent Huamian a WeChat message, he teased his sister that she was finally living the life of a young madam after marrying into a rich family for so many years. Huamin also burst out laughing, "Don't be ridiculous." "Okay, I'll take the children to dinner tomorrow. Can you ask Mom to make us some pancakes and tomato and cucumber soup?" Huamin laughed. "No problem, sis. If you want dinosaur meat, Mom will find a way to make it," Jixin continued joking. "You look like a dinosaur to me. Okay, I'll hang up now. Dinner is almost ready." Huamin hung up. However, the hospital immediately called. It was the number of the reception desk. "Hello? I'm Huamin. Vice Director, this is the case. Our hospital just received a patient with a heart attack. It's very serious and he needs surgery. The doctor on duty in the cardiology department thinks that the surgery is too difficult, so he asked us to ask you for instructions. What should we do?" "Call the first hospital and ask for help," Huamin suggested. "But the first hospital also has a patient who needs heart bypass surgery, and the doctor is in the middle of the surgery. He can't leave." The young nurse was very anxious. "What about Dr. Zhao from the cardiology department? Wasn't her house not far from the hospital? Call her and tell her that I want her to work overtime." "Yes, I did. Dr. Zhao is on vacation with his wife and children in Hong Kong." Huamian didn't know what to say. "Why don't you discuss it with President Wu and make a decision quickly? After all, time waits for no one. The patient is seriously ill." The nurse urged. "There's no need to discuss it. President Wu is in a meeting in Jing City and is very busy every day. We don't need to trouble him with such a small matter. How about this? You guys hurry up and prepare for the surgery. I'll pack up and come over immediately." "Wow, Vice Director, you're coming. That's great, okay. Wait for me. I'll put the files in your office drawer. You can take a look at them when you arrive and then meet us in or 3. "Okay." Huamin nodded and hung up. Then she picked up her coat and stood up. "Mommy, where are you going?" "It's almost dinner time. Daddy called and said he's on his way back," Little Bean said. "There's a situation in the hospital. I have to go back and take care of it." "But Mommy, aren't you on vacation? Besides, Mommy is a leader of the hospital, not a frontline doctor. You don't have to work so hard." Little Bean pouted, obviously not wanting her mommy to leave. Little Bean, "Mommy is the vice director, but..." Huamin paused. Chapter 2903. Plus, Mommy's a doctor. A doctor's mission is to save lives. But Mommy's also pregnant. I don't know if it's a brother or sister in her belly. Pudding interrupted. Sis, you're finally willing to help me," seeing her sister speak up for her. Pudding immediately became smug. "Don't be like this. You have to understand Mommy's job, okay?" Huamin tried to negotiate with the twins. "But Daddy said that when Mommy is on vacation, she must either stay close to Daddy or stay at home with us," Pudding lectured her mommy. "I know." Huamin was helpless. "So, Mommy, are you going to take Daddy to the hospital or are you going to take us and the bodyguards?" "I'll take the bodyguards. Don't worry. You guys can wait at home. It seems like it's raining outside. It's pretty cold. How long will it take?" Pudding pouted, reluctant to leave. "It won't take long," Huamin comforted them. "Lie. Heart surgery takes at least 3 hours." Pudding exposed her mommy's white lie. It wasn't a good thing to have smart babies at home. They weren't easy to fool. "Mommy, why don't you go? There are so many doctors in the hospital. Maybe they're not good enough. It's not your fault. But lately, it's been so quiet outside. That bitch Zhang Manlin hasn't done anything. I don't know what she's thinking. And that crazy woman Hui Yanyan. After she framed Uncle Gao Ran, I don't know if she'll target us. So, I think it's better for you to stay out of trouble." Pudding said word by word. Her logic was clear and her words were precise. "Pudding, Mommy understands what you're saying, but Mommy doesn't want to miss any chance to save someone. Mommy isn't a saint or God, but Mommy is a doctor. It's a doctor's duty to save people. If I save them and they die, it's still acceptable. But if I don't save them and they die because of me, I'll be very sad." The family members of the deceased will also be very sad. The cruelest thing in this world is the separation of life and death. The saddest thing is the living and the abandoned. So, I hope that as long as there's a glimmer of hope, I'll do my best to help the patients I treat. This was the first monologue in my heart when I first stepped into medical school. When Huamin said these words, her eyes were bright. It was as if she had returned to her teenage years, with a heart surging with passion and a dream that seemed silly to others. Everyone thought that doctors were supposed to save people's lives. It was their job and they were paid to do it. Now, the media was constantly trying to sow discord between patients. It made doctors seem like they had lost a lot of their former glory. However, this didn't affect the young people with medical dreams. They continued to work hard for their careers. Even as the vice director of the hospital, Huamian still felt that she had the responsibility to save every life that was of value. Mommy. Okay, you win. You have such a high EQ and eloquence. We can only surrender. Huamin's most honest words convinced her daughters. In the end, Pudding also surrendered. Watching Huamin leave with the bodyguards, Pudding was still a little uneasy. Sis, what's wrong? You look like you have something on your mind. Little Bean asked. I feel like Mommy shouldn't have gone out tonight, Little Bean said with lingering fear. Yes, she didn't ask Daddy for permission to go out. I also think it's very serious, Little Bean added. Chapter 2904. Huamin, who was pregnant, rarely left the house. This time, she brought along 2 bodyguards personally selected by Qin Chu, just in case. The driver drove the RV while Huamin and the bodyguards sat in the back. Along the way, she was thinking about a problem. Pudding was right. It was really risky for him to come out. Pudding was right. Not only was Zhang Manlin coming up with all sorts of evil ideas, but Hui Yanyan had also been crazy recently. She was always doing crazy things. Plus, Hu Xiqian's wedding was over, but there was still no news. All signs pointed to the fact that she was in danger. Coming out after dark wasn't a wise choice. But she was a doctor. If she hid at home like a coward for the rest of her life because of fear, would she still be the same Huamin? Would she still be the girl who was called arrogant by all her classmates when she was in high school? People didn't live for others, they lived for themselves. She knew that if this was exposed by the media, there would be a lot of self-proclaimed righteous people who would call her a saint and a white lotus. But it didn't matter. After all, not everyone was like her and had her own way of thinking. There was a saying that was very true. If you could be understood and supported by everyone, then you would be an ordinary person. After all, in this world, geniuses were few and far between. Most people were just ordinary people. The fact that you wanted ordinary people to understand geniuses was a joke in itself. Thinking of this, Huamin smiled. Then she picked up a bottle of mineral water and took a sip. In fact, Huamin's existence itself was the biggest controversy. But after all these years, she had always held on to him. Whether you like me or not, it doesn't change anything. I'm a doctor, not an entertainment star. I don't need millions of fans. I don't need people to praise me. I don't need people to praise me all the time. My lifelong wish is to be a qualified doctor, and then live a safe and happy life with my husband and daughter. However, she was worried that Qin Chu would miss her when he came back and found out that she had gone out. At that thought, Huamin took out his phone and called Mr. Qin. Hubby, honey, what's wrong? There's a patient in the hospital who needs heart surgery. The difficulty of the surgery is a little complicated. I have to go there. Where are you now? Qin Chu asked in a low voice. He's on his way. Qin Chu didn't say anything. Hubby, don't be angry. I brought bodyguards out, and I didn't drive my own car. The driver drove. Wait for me at the entrance of the viaduct. I'll drive over to find you. Qin Chu said. Honey, I won't stop you from performing the surgery. I just want to be with you. Qin Chu knew Huamin's temper very well. If he took Huamin home because he was worried and the patient died, Huamin would be sad for a long time. People who studied medicine understood that feeling very well. Qin Chu studied medicine at Harvard for many years. Although he wasn't a doctor, he understood Huamin's heart better than anyone else. Upon hearing Qin Chu's words, Huamin was very happy. Thank you, hubby. I love you. With her husband's support, Huamin felt much better. She didn't feel any pressure at all. Stop at the entrance of the viaduct and wait for my husband, Huamin ordered the driver. Yes, madam. The driver obediently parked the car on the side of the road and waited for Qin Chu to meet up with him. However, 10 minutes passed, and Qin Chu's car was still nowhere to be seen. Huamin called again. Hubby, how long until you get here? The situation at the hospital is a little urgent, Huamin asked. There's a situation here, Qin Chu answered with mixed feelings. Chapter 2905. What's going on? Honey, are you okay? Huamin was scared to death, thinking that something had happened to Qin Chu. No, honey, listen to me carefully. Qin Chu's tone suddenly became very heavy. Go on, I'm listening. I'm stuck in traffic, really bad. I don't know if it's a coincidence or if someone did it on purpose. You haven't been out for so long, and you suddenly received a call from the hospital today. Could it be a trap? Huamin was silent after hearing this. Honey, did you hear that? Qin Chu repeated. I heard it. I've thought about it. Could it be someone's trick? Whether it's Hua Xiqian, Hua Yanyan, or Zhang Manlin. But if I don't come because I'm afraid it's a trap, and the patient dies because of it, I'll feel bad. Qin Chu was silent. Hubby, do you also think that I'm a saint? No, I've never thought of you that way. That's good. As long as you don't think I'm pretending to be a good guy, I don't care what other people think of me. I might not be able to go over for now, and you're in a hurry. How about this, Mian? Promise me that you'll be careful. Take care of yourself and the baby in your belly. Okay, I'll be very, very careful. Huamin nodded, feeling a surge of warmth in his heart. Mr. Qin didn't argue with her at a time like this and asked her to go home. It was obvious that he knew her very well. After hanging up, Qin Chu looked at the traffic jam in front of him. He immediately opened the car door and got out. Just then he saw a traffic policeman on a motorcycle pass by. He reached out his hand and stopped him. Can I borrow your motorcycle? I'm Qin Chu. Then, without waiting for the traffic policeman to respond, Qin Chu got on the motorcycle and sped away, weaving through the traffic. The traffic policeman looked at the black Bentley that Qin Chu left behind, dumbfounded, speechless for a long time. South Side Recuperation Center. When Huamin walked in, he didn't go straight to his office. He was in a hurry to read the documents and change his clothes. Instead, he went straight to the reception desk and asked about the condition of the heart patient. After confirming that it was true, she was slightly relieved. Where is the patient now? In the operating theater on the 5th floor. Everyone is waiting for you, Deputy Director. Who called me just now? Huamin asked the nurses on duty. It's me, Deputy Director. A young nurse raised her hand. That's normal. You shouldn't be the one to call me. Who told you to call me? Huamian asked her warily. Assistant Xianxia usually calls you, but she's off today and didn't come. This is an emergency, and no one can make a decision, so I was wondering if I should ask for your opinion. Huamin carefully analyzed the nurse's words to see if there were any loopholes. Do you still have the information? In your office, the nurse replied. Do you have a backup? Huamin asked. Yes, there are more in the operating theater, the nurse replied. Good, then I'll go straight to the operating theater. Then Huamin put on his white coat and walked upstairs. The nurse's eyes dimmed slightly. She muttered, she's so smart and so defensive. Yes, the perfect plan was just short of asking Huamin to go back to his office, but she didn't. Instead, she changed her clothes and went straight to the operating theater where there were many people. Therefore, the nurse panicked and sent a WeChat message to Hua Yanyan. Sis, there's a change of plans. She's so smart. She didn't go back to the office to get the information and went straight to the operating theater. What should we do? Chapter 2906. That's normal. How could she not be wary of someone like her? It's okay, Hua Yanyan replied. Should we do it in the There are a lot of people there. It's not convenient. You know there's only one of those things. If we don't succeed the first time, all our efforts will be in vain, the young nurse said. Of course not. Can't you grow a brain? Think about what she does after she leaves the OR. Hui Yanyan was a little annoyed. After she leaves the OR, she usually changes clothes, rests, and drinks water. The young nurse tried hard to remember. That's easy. We'll put the thing in her clothes before she changes clothes. The young nurse hesitated. What are you waiting for? Go and do it. Is it really okay? Vice Director's husband is very powerful. I'm afraid. The young nurse stuttered. You're just a temporary worker. What are you afraid of? Once you're done, you'll leave. Anyway, your ID is fake. Who can find you? Hui Yanyan retorted. Hui Yanyan had spent a lot of money on this revenge operation. First, she spent a lot of money on that thing. Then, she hired people in the hospital to bribe them. Most importantly, in order to lure Huamin into the trap, she really found a heart patient who needed surgery. Otherwise, if the information was fake, she would be exposed easily. As soon as Huamin entered the hospital, she went around to check if there was really such a patient. It was obvious that she was very vigilant. Oasis. I know what to do. Inside the OR on the 5th floor, once Huamin entered, everyone let out a sigh of relief. Vice Director. Mr. Director, you're finally here. What's the situation now? Huamin asked. The patient's heartbeat is very fast and he's having difficulty breathing. I don't think he can hold on much longer. Where's the information? Let me see. Huamin reached out his hand. An assistant immediately handed over the information and showed Huamin the patient's medical record. She was very serious and finished reading very quickly. How is it, Deputy Director? Are you confident? The chief surgeon asked. There is indeed a risk. This patient has undergone heart surgery before, so this is considered a second surgery. It is indeed very difficult. Then what should we do? Do we do it or not? Of course we'll do it. Tell the family that we'll do our best. Tell them not to worry, Huamin said. All right. Huamin was a doctor who paid close attention to the feelings of the family members of seriously ill patients. When Jixin was in a car accident, she stood outside the door as if she had lost her soul. She couldn't wait to see the doctor and ask him if he was alive or dead. Therefore, after becoming a doctor, no matter how bad the situation was, she would always consider the emotions of the family members and comfort them. I'll change now. Let's get started. All right. After that, Huamin changed into a disinfectant suit and entered the operating theater. A few assistants followed him in. Hui Yanyan's nurse took advantage of the fact that no one was paying attention to her. She avoided the surveillance cameras and stole the small black jar from Huamin's office. Then, she carried it all the way to the changing room next to the operating theater. There was only one nurse guarding the changing room. That nurse was playing with her phone and texting her boyfriend on WeChat. I'm here to see the deputy director, Hui Yanyan's subordinate said. The deputy director is already in the operating theater. You can wait for her to finish, the nurse said perfunctorily. Then I'll wait for her here. All right, if you want to drink water or go to the bathroom, you can go. I'll watch over you for a while. Okay, I was just about to go to the bathroom. You can keep an eye on me. If there's anything I need, let me know. With that, the nurse got up and left. Hui Yanyan's subordinate quietly opened the black jar. Then, wearing a pair of rubber gloves, she put something into Huamin's jacket pocket. I'm sorry, Deputy Director. Someone wants you dead. I can't do anything about it, the nurse muttered in a low voice. Chapter 2907. Perhaps the nurse was scared, so she left without waiting for the other nurse to come back. She left in a hurry. Huamin was wearing a black cashmere coat. It was windy at night and she was pregnant, so she often felt cold. That was why she wore this coat. There were 2 deep pockets on both sides of the coat. Huamin would put small items like keys in the pockets when she forgot to take her bag. She just didn't expect that it could be used by others. After the nurse was done, she sent Hui Yanyan a WeChat message. Sis, it's done. It's in her pocket. When she comes out of the surgery, she'll change her clothes. When she feels her body temperature, she'll do something. Okay, I got it. Sis, the rest of the money, Hui Yanyan didn't reply. Instead, she transferred 30,000 yuan to the nurse. Thank you. After the nurse received the money, she immediately changed her clothes and left the hospital. She knew that she would be suspected after news of Huamin's accident spread. On the other hand, Hui Yanyan went upstairs to get her luggage after receiving the news. Tonin, let's go. She grabbed her daughter's hand. Mommy, it's dark. Where are we going? Mommy will take you on a trip. Shouldn't we tell Uncle Shin? He'll be worried about us, right? The little girl asked innocently. Hearing the words, Uncle Shin, Hui Yanyan paused and said, no need to tell him. He won't worry about us. At the same time, inside the Hua mansion, Ching, did you see it clearly? Yes. Do you know what to do? Yes. I'll go and get her. What about the hospital? If Miss Hua comes out and gets bitten by that thing? Ching stuttered. Don't worry. I'll send someone to take care of it. You just do your job. After Ching received Hua Xiqian's order, he took people to the airport. Because there were people around him, he didn't have time to inform Qin Chu. Ching sent an anonymous message to Qin Chu with an app. Quick, save Huamin. There's poison in his clothes. When Qin Chu received the news, he happened to be riding a traffic police motorcycle all the way to South Side. After reading the message, his face darkened slightly, then he rushed to the operating theater on the 5th floor without hesitation. Just as he passed through the operating theater in the corridor, he was opposite a hospital worker, tall and burly and male. She was wearing the uniform of South Side Recuperation Center and was carrying a bag in her hand. After walking over, Qin Chu didn't forget to look back at that person. Somehow, he felt that something was off. When they arrived at the waiting room outside the operating theater, Qin Chu knocked on the door. The young nurse immediately stood up. I'm looking for Huamin. I'm her husband. Qin Chu only said one sentence, and the nurse's eyes immediately lit up. President Qin, you're here to welcome our vice president personally. Where is she? In the operating theater. Where's her coat? Coat? Oh, it's hanging here. The young nurse pointed at the closet enthusiastically. Qin Chu walked over, picked up the medical tweezers beside it, and carefully checked it. Only then did he realize that there was nothing inside. Then he put on rubber gloves and picked up the coat. President Qin, what are you? The young nurse didn't seem to understand. My wife's coat is torn. I'm changing it for her. After speaking, Qin Chu used his gloved hands to take Huamin's designer coat to the washroom. He lit it with a lighter and burned it. No matter what, this coat couldn't be worn anymore. He knew that Ching's information couldn't be wrong. What he didn't understand was why Hua Xiqian suddenly did this to Huamian. Chapter 2908. Qin Chu didn't know that this was Hui Yanyan's doing, because the person he had been guarding against was actually Hua Xiqian. After the clothes were burned, there were some abnormal colors in the ashes. Those were the symptoms of toxins that could be identified with one glance after studying medicine for many years. Qin Chu's face was gloomy as he returned to the changing room. President Qin, please sit down. I'll get you a glass of water and wait for the deputy director to come out, okay? The nurse was very attentive. No, I'll go in and find her. Then, without waiting for the nurse to say anything, Qin Chu took out his disinfected clothes and put them on. Then he walked in. President Qin, you can't go in. You're not a member of the hospital. You can't go in. No matter what the nurse said, Qin Chu wouldn't listen. Instead, he insisted on going in to accompany Huamin. Right now, he didn't want to be out of sight of Huamin for even a second, even if it was an operation. Help me wipe my sweat. Huamin hadn't done such a difficult operation in a long time, so he was a bit nervous. Beads of sweat began to form on his forehead. After she finished speaking, a pair of big hands came over with a disinfectant handkerchief and gently wiped his forehead. He hadn't looked at it carefully, but why did it smell so familiar? Huamin curiously turned his head, and then, he was dumbfounded. Honey, why are you here? Huamin almost thought that he was sleepwalking. I'm watching you. I'm afraid you'll be kidnapped. Mr. Qin joked with a serious face. Honey, stop joking. Huamin almost burst out laughing, But this wasn't the right place to joke. How is it? How far are you? Xianxia asked. I just cut open the heart and saw the heart inside. I think we have to remove all the necrotic parts and then use machinery to support it, Huamin said. Go sit over there, Xianxia said. Huh. Huamin was a bit confused. Let me do it. Before Huamin could react, Xianxia snatched the scalpel from her hand. Hey, honey, this is a heart surgery, not a brain surgery. Can you do it? Huamin was a little worried. Don't worry, I won't lose to you, Mr. Qin said proudly. Huamin, Xianxia's intrusion was indeed against the hospital's rules, and he even stole Huamin's surgery. However, Huamin's heart was bursting with happiness. She knew that everything Mr. Qin did was for her. Deputy Director, please have some water. The assistant nurse handed him a glass of water. Well, leave it here first. I'm not very thirsty. Huamin took the water but did not drink it. It wasn't that she was too paranoid. It was just that she was on high alert during this critical period. She wouldn't casually drink or eat outside food. After all, she really didn't know who had been bribed. The surgery was supposed to take more than 3 hours, but it ended in less than an hour and a half. Xianxia had to be extremely focused, so he was a bit tired. After getting off the operating table, everyone let out a sigh of relief. Deputy Director, the patient's vitals are normal. The surgery was a success. The assistant nurse's voice was a little excited. Okay, send him to the ICU. Thank you for your hard work. Huamin smiled. Not at all. Deputy Director, thank you for your hard work. Your husband worked even harder. The nurses smiled enviously. Deputy Director, your husband's medical skills are amazing. The chief surgeon praised Xianxia. It was his first time seeing him perform surgery. My husband? Studying medicine is just a hobby. Huh, don't praise him too much, Huamin said modestly. Xianxia put his arm around Huamin's shoulder and walked out of the operating room to the changing room. Where are my clothes? Huamin opened the wardrobe and was slightly surprised. I burned them, he said. What? Huamin thought she heard wrong and asked Mr. Qin again. Chapter 2909. I burned it. Mr. Qin repeated patiently. Why did you burn it? If you don't like it, just tell me. I'll get another one. I can give this one to my mom. I'll talk to you when we get out. Xianxia didn't want people to talk, so he didn't say much. He took out his jacket and wrapped it around Huamin. Then, he put his arm around her shoulders and left the hospital. The vice director's husband loves her so much. Yeah, he cares about her so much, but now he even wants to help with the surgery. Oh my God, I'm so jealous. The nurses gossiped after Huamin and Xianxia left. Honey, where's your car? Huamin looked around but didn't see Xianxia's car. I left it downtown. Let's take the family car. Then, Xianxia held Huamin's hand and got into the RV. Can you tell me what happened now? Why are you burning the clothes all of a sudden? Mian, someone did something to your clothes. Huh? But Huamin froze. I'm not sure yet. I don't know if it was Huasiqian's men. I'm still investigating. What did they do? You finally burned my clothes. Someone must have poisoned it. I was wearing this when I left home. How could someone have poisoned it? Wait, could it be the nurse on duty in the changing room? Huamin realized. I don't think so. If it was her, she wouldn't have waited there to be investigated, Xianxia recalled. You're right. But where did you get this information? I thought it wasn't safe for you to come to the hospital alone. I was afraid it was a trap, so I came to take a look. When I arrived, I received a message from Aching. He was very concise, so I didn't have time to ask. So that's how it is. Looks like I almost fell for it again. Huamin leaned his head on Xianxia's shoulder with lingering fear. It's fine. Don't worry, I'm here. Honey, am I a coward? You always have to protect me. Huamin felt a little guilty. No, my wife is very powerful. Didn't she take the blame for murder for me before? Xianxia laughed. Not again. Huamin rolled his eyes. Don't always think that you're useless and give me trouble. You're a human, not a god. If you're not afraid of anything and can solve any problem by yourself, then what's the use of me as your husband? Am I just for show? Mr. Qin rarely said so many words at once. Huamin was pleasantly surprised. No, you're going to give birth to babies? Huamin teased. Qin Chu was speechless. Ha! Don't look at me with such a straight face. It's so awkward. On the way back, the couple flirted with each other. Although it was a close call, the good thing was that Huamin was fine. On the other side of the road to the airport, before Hu Yanyan's taxi could get onto the highway, it was forced to stop by a few black commercial cars. Then, a dozen men in black got out of the cars and smashed Hu Yanyan's taxi. The taxi driver was so scared that he almost fainted. Hu Yanyan and the babies were also scared out of their wits. Tian Tian was so scared that she started crying. Take her away, one of the men roared. The men pulled Hu Yanyan's hair and dragged her out. Where are the babies? Take them all away. Who are you? What do you want? Let me go, I'm calling the police. Hu Yanyan took out her phone, but before she could dial 110, someone grabbed it and threw it to the ground. Then, he slapped Hu Yanyan so hard that she felt dizzy. Tape their mouths. They're so noisy, the man said. Chapter 29:10. Just like that, Hu Yanyan and her daughter were kidnapped on their way to the airport. In a small, rundown house in the southern mountains, there was a dim light. After Hu Yanyan and her daughter were brought in, they were immediately stuffed into a small, enclosed room. The walls were covered in moss, just like in a horror movie. Because her mouth was taped shut, she couldn't say anything even if she wanted to. Hu Yanyan looked at her daughter worriedly. She could only whimper but couldn't say a single word. Not long after, a man came in and dragged Hu Yanyan out by her hair. After he dragged her out, he pushed her onto the cold ground. Hu Yanyan lost her balance and fell to the ground. She looked extremely pathetic. What a coincidence, we meet again. Hearing the familiar voice, Hu Yanyan raised her head and looked at the demon-like face in horror. With a bloodthirsty smile, who else could it be but Huxiqian? What? You haven't seen your family in a long time. Shouldn't you be surprised to see me? Huxiqian continued to smile. On the other hand, Hu Yanyan was so scared that she didn't even dare to breathe. She always knew that Huxiqian was a person who would do anything. He had no bottom line at all. Take away her tape. It's not fun to play with her like this, Huxiqian said. Yes, boss. After that, one of Huxiqian's subordinates came in with a wooden chair behind Huxiqian. He slowly sat down opposite Hu Yanyan and slowly lit a cigarette. Huxiqian, what are you trying to do? Hu Yanyan questioned Huxiqian with a trembling voice the moment the tape was removed. What am I trying to do? Hi, you're wrong. I should be the one asking you what you've been up to. Huxiqian laughed coldly. Hu Yanyan's heart skipped a beat. She could roughly guess the meaning behind Huxiqian's words. You want to run? S City? New town on Water District? Block 8, Unit 6, 806? Huxiqian repeated the address. Hu Yanyan opened her mouth wide in shock, speechless. Are you wondering how I know? It's simple. Your best friend betrayed you easily. Huxiqian said calmly. Hu Yanyan felt a chill in her heart. Then she began to feel scared. She had thought that she would be able to live in peace for a while after leaving this place. But now, it seemed like she was completely wrong. Huxiqian knew her new address in S City. How terrifying was that? I don't understand. What did Mian do to make you hate her so much? How could you do such a thing to her? Ha, so it's all because of Huamin. I knew it. How could a nobody like me attract your attention? Huxiqian, don't you think you're disgusting? Huamin is from the Hua family, just like us. Even if you're adopted, you're still his sister in name. Aren't you afraid that people will call you a pervert for liking your sister in name? Hu Yanyan smiled viciously. Pervert? Ha, I've always been a pervert. Huxiqian laughed. It seems like you're trying to get justice for Huamin today. You're the best spare tire in China. Even her husband isn't as active as you. Huxiqian, don't you think you're cheap? Hu Yanyan's words were filled with sarcasm and insult. As soon as she finished speaking, Ah Cheng slapped Hu Yanyan again. The corner of Hui Yanyan's mouth split open, and blood slowly trickled out. Chapter 29:11. Bitch, watch your mouth or I'll break it, Ching said angrily. Ching, don't be impulsive. We have to be gentle with women. Wuxia was still very calm. However, the calmer he was, the more unsure Hui Yanyan became. Wuxia, stop pretending. We've been enemies since we were kids, and my mom and brother didn't treat you well either. Now that you've become so powerful, I have nothing to say if you want to take revenge on us. Do whatever you want, and don't waste your time talking nonsense. Wow, a chaste woman. Hui Yanyan, did you watch too many anti-Japanese dramas? Do you think you're Mao Zedong or something? Hui Yanyan waited for Wuxia but didn't say anything. Let's not talk nonsense. Let me show you something fun. Bring her in. Wuxia ordered, and his subordinates immediately brought in a woman with a black cloth over her head. After Wuxia's subordinates removed the black cloth from the woman's head, Hui Yanyan panicked again. Big Sister Yan, save me. It turned out that this was the little nurse who put something in Huomin's clothes. She was the little spy that Hui Yanyan planted at Southside. Save you? Huh, she can't even save herself right now. How can she save you? Wuxia stood up and reached out his index finger to gently lift the little nurse's chin. Hui Yanyan didn't say anything. After all, they had a mutually beneficial relationship. You're such a pretty girl, but you're so evil. For a few thousand yuan, you're so shameless that you want to frame your boss. You're the worst, Wuxia said slowly. It wasn't me. It was Hui Yanyan who asked me to do it. She ordered me to do it. The young nurse acted according to the situation. Seeing that things were not going well, she immediately pointed out that it was Hui Yanyan's fault. If she asks you to do it, you will do it. If she asks you to die, will you go? The nurse was so scared that she didn't dare to say anything. Little girl, do you know what Hui Yanyan asked you to put in Huomin's clothes? Wuxia asked with a smile. The nurse shook her head in fear. She didn't know what it was exactly, but she knew that it was something that could kill people. Otherwise, Hui Yanyan would not have gone through so much trouble to find a patient with a heart condition to lure Huomin into the trap, nor would she have bribed so many spies to set up such a big trap. Very good. If you don't know what it is, how dare you put it in my sister Mion's clothes? You're fucking good. Wuxia suddenly tightened his grip on the nurse's chin. He used so much force that he almost broke her bones. Big brother, it's not my fault. It's Hui Yanyan's fault. Go find her. I was used too. The nurse pushed all the blame away. Don't worry. I'll show you the good stuff. You'll like it. After speaking, Wuxia waved his hand. The two men immediately grabbed the nurse's shoulders and stopped her from moving. The other man immediately brought out a small black jar. The moment they saw the black jar, Hui Yanyan's expression changed drastically. The nurse was even more terrified. Why are you guys looking like that? You guys should be happy. After all, you guys chose this and it passed through your hands. Wuxia smiled. No. I beg you, let me go. No, the nurse seemed to know what she was about to face. She was so scared that her face turned pale as she begged for mercy. Hui Yanyan's face was even paler. She didn't know what other crazy things Wuxia would do. Chapter 29:12. Didn't your big sister Yanyan tell you what's inside? Wuxia pointed at the black jar and asked the nurse. No, she didn't say, the nurse stuttered, scared out of her wits. Oh, that's okay, I'll open your eyes. Then, Wuxia carefully opened the black jar and took the tweezers from his subordinate. He reached his hand into the jar and took out a black furry object. Everyone in the room gasped when they saw what it was. It was a black spider the size of a quail egg. Its entire body was black, and upon closer inspection, there were tiny gray dots all over its body. Just looking at it was enough to make one's hair stand on end. Mutant Black Widow, not bad. Where did you find this? Wuxia held the black spider and approached Hui Yanyan. Then, when Wuxia held the spider, its claws were still moving around, making everyone dizzy. Hui Yanyan felt all the hair on her body stand on end. You really want to kill my little sister? You're so evil? Compared to your mother, you're even better, Huasiqian exclaimed. Cut the crap, since you caught me, I didn't think I'd get out of here alive. Hui Yanyan knew that Huasiqian wouldn't let her go, especially after he found out about her perverted love for Huamin. Now that her plan was exposed, Huasiqian definitely wouldn't let her go. Don't worry, the night is still young, we have to play slowly. Then Huasiqian turned around and walked up to the nurse. You and this thing are fated. Come to have a taste. Then Huasiqian released the tweezers, and the spider immediately crawled into the nurse's collar. But, the nurse immediately screamed at the top of her lungs. She didn't know if it was because of fear, psychological fear, or because of the pain after being bitten by the spider. That shrill cry shook everyone in the room. Other than Huasiqian, everyone was afraid. 1 minute later, the nurse collapsed to the ground, foaming at the mouth. Her face had turned purple. The black widow venomous spider had probably bitten enough. It lazily crawled out of the nurse's clothes. Huasiqian's subordinates were so frightened that they quickly retreated, afraid that they would be bitten. The young nurse convulsed for about 3 minutes. In the end, her legs gave way and she stopped breathing. Huasiqian raised his wrist and looked at his watch. He smiled and said, "Not bad. You hung up in 3 minutes. It seems that your watch is a treasure." At this moment, the black spider crawled towards Huasiqian's feet. "Boss, be careful," Aching reminded. Huasiqian didn't even look. He pulled out a black handgun from behind his waist and shot at the black spider. With a loud bang, everyone was so scared that they couldn't help but tremble. They looked at the black spider and saw that it was already motionless. It was almost shot into pieces. I should let you have a taste of your own medicine, but dying in 3 minutes is so boring, don't you think so? Huasiqian looked at Hui Yanyan and asked, word for word, "What do you want?" Hui Yanyan had a bad feeling. "You know that I've always loved Mian. What do you think I'll do to you if you treat her like this?" Huasiqian asked with a smile. Hui Yanyan looked at Huasiqian's hellish smile and suddenly felt that this might be the most desperate moment of her life. "Huasiqian Huamin, what's so good about her? Why do you all love her so much? I don't understand." Hui Yanyan felt that she was about to die, so she asked the question that had been in her heart for years, even though it sounded ridiculous at the moment. Chapter 29:13. Before Huasiqian could respond, Hui Yanyan yelled again, "Also, don't think that you're so noble. Huasiqian, we're all the same. We're all bad guys, aren't we?" "Yeah, you're right. I'm a bad guy," Huasiqian nodded and admitted. "But so what? Who said that bad guys can't like good girls?" Huasiqian asked back. "Me, she's not a kind person. She's even a little cold and arrogant. But I like her, because she's always been like that since she was a little girl. She won't change because of anyone, anything, or any environment. It's hard to live with a clear understanding of the world. Many people lose themselves in the process, but Mian, she's always known what she wants, what she likes, and what kind of person she is. No matter what other people say, whether they praise her or criticize her, to her, it's all the same. Her indifferent eyes have made me fall in love with her for the rest of my life." Huasiqian rarely opened up to Hui Yanyan about these things because in his eyes, Hui Yanyan was an idiot who didn't know right from wrong. But today, the atmosphere was different. Hui Yanyan asked, and Huasiqian answered. "Huh? Is she really as good as you say?" Hui Yanyan sneered. "Don't you know? You shouldn't be asking this, right? Don't you know how much Mian has done for you?" Huasiqian asked. Hui Yanyan was slightly surprised. "Do you think that if Mian hadn't been secretly helping you and protecting you and your mother over the past few years, I would have let you live until now? Are you kidding me? I don't like to cut weeds without removing the roots. You're not so naive as to think that Shen Mingxi was the one who protected you, are you?" Hui Yanyan, how many times did Mian sneak into the kindergarten to see your daughter? She bought her food, clothes, and even asked the teachers to take good care of her. Seeing how much she liked your daughter, I decided to let you go since you're no longer a threat. It's not worth it to offend Mian because of you, but I didn't think that not only do you not know how to be grateful, you even hate her. Is it because they killed my mom?" Hui Yanyan asked self-righteously. If Hua Min's mother kidnapped your daughter and even tried to kill her, would you still be magnanimous enough to forgive her? Hua Xiqian asked. Hua Yanyan, don't be so cruel. Don't always think that you're right and the whole world is wrong. Even a stubborn person like me isn't as cruel as you are. Hua Yanyan is actually very innocent. She even believed that you could change for the better and live a normal life. Unfortunately, you really disappointed her. How could you be so vicious as to buy mutated poisonous spiders to set her up? Hua Yanyan, have you learned your lesson? They say that dough of rice feeds a debt of gratitude, but it's true that you've become her enemy. Look at yourself now, all you've hurt are the people who helped you. Whether it's Mian or Shen Mingxi, you're not worthy of their kindness, but you're willing to trust people who can easily betray you. It's touching that you're still alive with your IQ. I'm just too lazy. If I had ended you earlier, there wouldn't have been so much trouble. You almost caused Mian to be bitten by poisonous spiders. Cut the crap, just shoot. Hua Yanyan felt that no matter what she said, there was no hope for her to live. You've got some backbone. What? You don't want to take care of your daughter anymore? Hua Xiqian snorted coldly. Hua Xiqian, don't hurt my daughter. Take it out on me, Hua Xiqian. Don't touch my daughter. Hua Yanyan became agitated, remembering her daughter who was captured with her. Chapter 29:14. So that's why you're so obedient? Hua Xiqian asked. What do you want? To be honest, Hua Yanyan wasn't sure what Hua Xiqian was going to do. She didn't know what he was going to do, so she was scared. Don't worry, I won't let you die. It's not time for you to die yet. Hua Xiqian chuckled. Hua Yanyan bit her lips and refused to speak. If you do as I say, maybe I'll find my conscience and let your daughter live. Otherwise, I'll let you watch as she sinks into the ocean with a rock tied to her. Hua Xiqian, you're a fucking animal. Upon hearing Hua Xiqian's words, Hua Yanyan almost jumped up in anger and cursed at Hua Xiqian. A fucking animal? I'm one. I've always been one. Hua Xiqian's self-deprecating style was unstoppable. According to seniority, Tian should call you uncle. How could you have the heart to hurt a 5- or 6-year-old child? Are you even human? Hua Yanyan cried and cursed at Hua Xiqian. However, the more she cursed, the more despair she felt. She knew that Hua Xiqian wasn't Hua Min. He didn't have any morals. Uncle? You sure know how to flatter yourself. Who do you think you are to claim kinship with me? After laughing coldly, Hua Xiqian waved his hand, and his subordinates immediately brought the little girl out. The moment the tape was removed from her mouth, the child was so scared that she started crying. Mommy, I'm scared. It was instinctive for a child to be scared. Upon seeing her daughter's pitiful state, Hua Yanyan's heart ached even more. Hua Xiqian, if you dare to touch my daughter, I won't let you off even if I become a ghost. Hua Yanyan screamed. I wasn't even afraid of you when you were alive. Why would I be afraid when you're dead? How about this? If you don't resist and give me a recording, I'll let your daughter go. What do you want to do to me? Hua Yanyan felt that Hua Xiqian was on the verge of breaking down because he refused to say anything. You guys, take the things out. After Hua Xiqian finished speaking, the men behind him turned around and returned to the black car parked outside Hua Xiqian. Hua Xiqian took out a long brocade box and slowly opened it. Inside was a thin syringe. It was like a child getting vaccinated. Inside was a white, transparent liquid. Hua Yanyan seemed to know what would happen to her. She was so scared that she couldn't speak. Don't worry, I won't let you die. This is good stuff. One syringe costs more than 100,000 yuan. It would be a waste to give it to you. After speaking, Hua Xiqian slowly walked towards Hua Yanyan with the syringe in his hand. No, don't come over. Hua Yanyan struggled with all her might. She was very resistant to this unknown substance. Based on her understanding of Hua Xiqian, this was definitely a perverted thing. It couldn't be a simple drug. Don't come over. Don't touch me. After I'm done with the syringe, I'll start recording. Say to me, Qin Chu, please let me go. I won't dare to do it again. Qin Chu. Hua Yanyan's eyes widened. She finally understood Hua Xiqian's little trick. What he wanted to do was to set her up and then frame Qin Chu. Don't worry, you won't die. In fact, you'll be very happy. Trust me. After speaking, Huasiqian suddenly injected the syringe into Hu Yanyan's shoulder. The unknown liquid slowly flowed into her body. Hu Yanyan felt her mind go blank. I'll start recording in 5 seconds. If you don't do as I say, then your daughter will feed the baby to the fish, Huasiqian said slowly. Chapter 29:15. Hu Yanyan's face was filled with pain, and she struggled for a while. With a beep, the recording started. She opened her eyes and looked at Huasiqian. She said with determination, "Qin Chu, you did this to me. I won't forgive you even if I become a ghost." Huasiqian took out his phone and recorded the scene with a sinister smile on his face. Then Hu Yanyan felt dizzy and fell to the ground. Mommy? Mommy, what's wrong? Mommy, wake up. Little Tian rushed over but was stopped by a man. Boss, I think the drug is taking effect. Aching said. Yeah, take her to the busiest street and leave her there. What about the kid? Aching asked. Tie her to a rock and throw her into the sea. Huasiqian said. After Huasiqian said this, the men fell silent. What's with that expression? Are you crying at a funeral? Huasiqian stared at Aching. Boss, Hu Yanyan deserved it, but the kid is innocent. Ever since Aching adopted the kid, he cared about kids like her, especially those who didn't come from a good family and didn't have parents by their side. Aching, we're not philanthropists, we're bad guys. We were bad guys in the past, in the present, and in the future. This is the path we have to take. Huasiqian said. Aching didn't say anything after hearing this, but he didn't dare to refute his boss. He knew Huasiqian's temper. Sit down and make sure everything is clean. I hope this is the end of Hu Yanyan's matter. The relationship between Qin Chu and I has officially begun. After saying this, Huasiqian threw the cigarette butt on the ground, stepped on it, and turned to leave. Big brother Aching, if you can't do it, we'll do it for you. Seeing Aching's conflicted expression, the men tried to persuade him. It's okay. You guys take Hu Yanyan to the city center. I'll take care of things here. All right. After that, the unconscious Hu Yanyan was taken into a van and driven towards the city center. Aching drove the little girl towards the seaside. Tiantian's hands and feet were tied, and her mouth was taped shut again. But the sound of the sobbing was very obvious. Aching saw the tears on the child's face from the rearview mirror. His eyes were filled with despair. After getting out of the car, Aching carried the child out and tore off the tape. Little Tian knelt down in front of Aching. Uncle, please save my mother. After hearing this, Aching was shocked. He thought that the child would say, Uncle, please don't kill me. However, he did not expect that the child was worried about his mother. This touched him even more. Uncle, I beg you. My mother hasn't had it easy these past few years. My father is a bastard. He didn't care about us since we were young. My mother is also very pitiful. I don't want her to die. You won't die. After a long while, Aching squeezed out these words. What about me? Aching was silent. I heard what that big bad guy said. He told you to throw me into the sea. Aching was still silent. Uncle, I'm really afraid of water. I choke when I swim. Don't throw me into the sea. If you want to kill me, just stab me. I heard that if you lose a lot of blood, you'll die very quickly. The child's words were like knives stabbing into Aching's heart. Before, he didn't feel anything for Huasiqian. But after betraying him and standing on Qin Chu's side, he suddenly felt that he was such a bastard. Uncle, just do it. Don't kill my mother. If you have the chance, tell her that Tian loves her. I don't blame her. The little girl's voice was very tender. Her eyes were also very pure. Tian was not as smart as the twins. She was just an ordinary child. Oh, and my Uncle Shen. I love him too, Tian added. At this time, Aching slowly pulled out a gun from his waist. His face was filled with inexplicable sadness. Chapter 29:16. Aching aimed his gun at Tianan. Then, there was a loud bang. The little girl fell to the ground, not far away. Huasiqian's other henchmen watched from afar and then turned to leave. Seeing the figure walk away, Aching helped the child up from the ground. Run along this road by the sea and don't look back. When you reach a place with light, remember to ask the police to take you to Huamin. No, you can't go to him. Our boss has been watching Miss Hua too closely. You should go to Shenmingxi. He's still in the first hospital. Give this to him and don't forget it. Tian nodded obediently. Hurry up, I have to go too. Cheng patted the child's shoulder. To his surprise, Tian knelt on the ground and kowtowed 3 times to Cheng. Thank you, Tu. You're a good person. I'm not a good person. I've done a lot of terrible things. Cheng was a little sad. No, you are a good person. When I was listening to the teacher telling us about Snow White, he said that Snow White's stepmother didn't like her because she was prettier than her stepmother, so she sent a hunter to kill her. However, the hunter couldn't bear to do so, so he killed a deer and went back to report on his mission. He let Snow White go and later met the dwarf. I am not Snow White, but Uncle also let me go. Uncle is a very kind hunter. The words of a child were always the simplest and most innocent. Cheng felt very sad when he heard this. Okay, stop talking. Hurry up and go. Remember to find the police and then Shenmingxi. Cheng reminded her repeatedly, afraid that Tian would go the wrong way and meet the wrong person. After all, the child was too young to protect herself. Okay, I'll go find Uncle Shen. He's at the first hospital. Then, Tian turned and ran. Cheng couldn't bear to see her like this. Before he shot, he told Tian to fall to the ground. From afar, it looked like she was really shot to death. After all, Hua Xiqin had a lot of people working for him. If he wasn't careful, things could go wrong. Because Tian was young, she ran very slowly. Before she could find Shenmingxi, Hua Yanyan's incident broke out. In the entire city, it was pretty bad. When Qin Chu's informant reported, Gao Ran also called. Chu, what's going on with Hua Yanyan? I'm not sure either. But now everyone is saying that you did it. She kept calling your name. Now the internet is saying that you and I worked together to take revenge on her. Gao Ran was also in a terrible state. It's probably this woman's scheme again. Qin Chu was exceptionally calm. I've brought Hua Yanyan to the Municipal Public Security Bureau. I'll only know the details when the results are out, Gao Ran said. Do you need me to go? Qin Chu asked. There's no need for that. You're in the eye of the storm now. You can't come to the Municipal Public Security Bureau. You'll be caught red-handed and even worse. All right. Qin Chu hung up the phone. His expression didn't look too good. Honey, what happened? Huamin could tell how serious the situation was from Qin Chu's expression. Something happened with Hua Yanyan. Is that really Hua Yanyan? I just saw that video on WeChat. The figure was blurry. I thought someone was using it to create hype. Huamin froze. Where's the video? Let me see it. Qin Chu didn't seem to think that things would be this serious. Huamin took out his phone, opened the video again, and showed it to Qin Chu. After watching it, his expression became even more serious. Chapter 29:17. It was a video of a mental patient. The woman in the video was disheveled, wearing only her underwear and underwear. She was crying and laughing on the street. There were many onlookers, and many of them were even taking pictures of her. They watched as the woman reached out to take off her underwear. At this point, the video was cut off and ended abruptly. Just by looking at the silhouette, they couldn't be sure that it was Hua Yanyan. However, just now, Gao Ran made the call and his subordinates told them about it. Qin Chu was basically certain that the person in the video was Hua Yanyan. Honey, why aren't you saying anything? What's going on? Huamin was also very anxious. This is Hua Yanyan, Qin Chu said. Huh. Huamin was still a little surprised. What's going on? Is she pretending to be crazy? Huamin didn't know what Hua Yanyan was up to. I'm not sure. I have a feeling that there's something strange going on this time. Let's wait for the results from Gao Ran's examination first. Half an hour later, Gao Ran called again. Qin Chu and Huamin sat in the living room, waiting for the results. Chu, the results are out. To make it easier for Huamin to hear, Qin Chu put the call on speaker. What's the situation? There's a drug in Hua Yanyan's body. It's very special. It's even more powerful than poppies. It's probably a mixture of drugs that can cause mental disorder. What you're saying is that Hui Yanyan took a drug and went crazy on the street, taking off her own clothes. Huamin asked. Something like that. However, there's something very troublesome right now. What? Qin Chu raised his eyebrows. At that time, the witnesses all said in unison that the woman kept repeating one sentence, which was, Qin Chu, you'll die a horrible death for treating me like this. You won't have a good ending. What does it have to do with my husband? Huamin was a little angry. She knew that with Qin Chu's personality, he would rather shoot Hui Yanyan to death than feed her drugs. Qin Chu would never do something as despicable as running around naked in front of a prostitute. He probably wants me to be the scapegoat, Qin Chu guessed in a low voice. Yeah, that's what I think too. But what I'm not sure about right now is whether Hui Yanyan made you take the blame, or if there's someone else behind the scenes, Gao Ran said. Could it be Hu Xiqian? Huamin immediately thought of Hu Xiqian. It's hard to say now. The medical staff of the Municipal Public Security Bureau is giving Hui Yanyan an injection. Hopefully she'll regain her consciousness, Gao Ran said. What drug? Can I go to the Municipal Public Security Bureau to have a look? As a doctor, Huamin was very sensitive to drugs. No, you can't go out now. Be a good girl and listen to me. Before Gao Ran could refuse, Qin Chu immediately refused. Huamin was pregnant and Qin Chu wouldn't let her do anything dangerous. Previously, when Hui Yanyan was attacked by the poisonous spider, although Huamin wasn't hurt in the end, she was still scared when she thought about it. What should we do, honey? I feel like we're in a passive position. Huamin couldn't sit still anymore. On one side was Hui Yanyan, and on the other side was Hu Xiqian. Were the two mortal enemies working together now? It'll be fine. You go and help Pudding and Little Bean change first. I'll go out and meet Aching. Then, Qin Chu got up and left the house while talking to Gao Ran on the phone. Inside the first hospital, Shen Mingxi's body had almost recovered and he could walk on his own. After Hui Yanyan's video was released, he was restless and couldn't get through to Hui Yanyan's phone. Just then, the door opened. Young master, there's a child outside who wants to see you. She says her name is Tian Tian, the bodyguard said. Quick, bring her in. Shen Mingxi was even more excited when he heard it was Tian Tian. Chapter 29:18. When Tian Tian came in, her white floral dress was stained with dirt and her face was dirty. She looked like a mess. Seeing Shen Mingxi, Tian Tian threw herself at him and hugged his leg. Uncle Shen, boo-hoo, Fan, don't cry. Tell me why you're here. Where's your mom? Shen Mingxi knew the kid couldn't have come alone at this late hour. Something must have happened. Uncle Shen, please save my mom. She's about to be killed by the bad guys. The kid was so anxious that she cried as she spoke. Don't cry yet, baby. Take your time. Shen Mingxi scooped Tian Tian up and sat her down on the bed. He wet the towel on the side and wiped the child's face slowly. Are you hungry? Shen Mingxi knew the kid must have been scared out of her wits. I'm not hungry. Then drink some water first. Shen Mingxi poured a glass of warm water for the kid. Tian Tian was really thirsty and drank it all in one gulp. Do you want more? Shen Mingxi asked gently. Give me a little more, Uncle Shen, Tian Tian said timidly. Shen Mingxi poured a little more water for the kid. Then, afraid she would choke, he gently patted her back. After drinking the water, Tian Tian's expression softened. By the way, Uncle Shen, this is for you. The kid came back to her senses and didn't forget what Aching had given her. What's this? I don't know. The kid shook her head. Who gave it to you? Shen Mingxi asked. The big bad guy's accomplice. But he's not a bad guy. He's a good guy. The big bad guy told him to throw me into the sea and he let me go. Tian Tian said intermittently. Shen Mingxi was also puzzled by her words. Okay, I'll take a look first. Shen Mingxi took a small object and looked at it. It was a mini recording device. He pressed the start button and a man's voice came out. It was very simple. Hu Xiqian wants to deal with Qin Chu, so he used Hui Yanyan to frame Qin Chu. Hu wanted me to kill the child, but I didn't have the heart to do so. You should hide the child. If she's still alive, I'll be in trouble. It was just a few sentences, but they were very clear. Shen Mingxi immediately understood what he meant. Uncle Shen, Mommy and I were caught by a bad guy. Our hands and feet were tied and our mouths were sealed. That bad guy gave Mommy medicine and wanted to kill Tian Tian. Tian Tian is very scared. Tian Tian hopes that Uncle Shen can save Mommy. Tian Tian's chubby little hand tugged at Shen Mingxi's sleeve. Shen Mingxi's heart ached when he heard her pleading in a low voice. Although he swore that he would no longer interfere in Hui Yanyan's matters, he still couldn't bear to see the mother and daughter suffer like this. Okay, Uncle will definitely help you save your mother. Don't worry, Tian Tian. Yes, I know that Uncle Shen treats us the best. The little girl finally showed a smile. Shen Mingxi then ordered someone to buy some food for Tian Tian. Then he decided to let Tian Tian stay with him in the hospital for the time being. He couldn't let Hu Xiqian see her. Tian Tian was frightened and always sleepy. After coaxing her to sleep, Shen Mingxi changed into casual clothes and opened the door. Young master, are you going out? But madam said that you're still recovering and can't go out. The two bodyguards were also in a difficult position. I'm going out to do something urgent. I'll be back in a while. You don't have to tell Mom. Then, Shen Mingxi pushed the bodyguards aside and went straight to the Municipal Public Security Bureau. After greeting Gao Ran, Shen Mingxi saw Hui Yanyan in the Municipal Public Security Bureau's interrogation room. She seemed to be a little delirious. She's like this for now. I don't know if she's real or just pretending. Go and take a look, Gao Ran said. Chapter 29:19. When Shen Mingxi walked in, Hui Yanyan was curled up in a corner on the floor. She was wearing men's clothing that didn't fit her at all. The police probably brought it back and put it on her. Her face was facing the corner of the wall, and she was muttering something under her breath. To be honest, even though she treated Shen Mingxi like this, he still felt sad to see her like this. Yan. He hadn't called her that in a long time. Unfortunately, Hui Yanyan didn't respond at all. She was still mumbling something to herself. Shen Mingxi slowly walked over, reached out his hand, and gently placed it on her shoulder. Yanyan, don't touch me, don't touch me. Go away, you're the devil. Hui Yanyan reacted violently and looked at the man behind her in horror. Shen Mingxi was startled when she turned her face around. She wasn't the well-dressed Hui Yanyan from before. Even when she was down and out, she didn't look like this when she worked in the mall. Hui Yanyan's face was covered in dirt and lipstick was smeared all over her mouth. She looked very funny. Her hair was sticky. He didn't know if it was water or something else, but it looked very disgusting. I'm Shen Mingxi. Mingxi? Hui Yanyan's expression changed when she heard Mingxi's name. Don't you remember me? Shen Mingxi? Hui Yanyan repeated in a low voice. Yes, I'm Shen Mingxi. Shen Mingxi. You're a heartless man. I hate you. Go away. You and Qin Chu are the same. They directly killed my mother. You're indirectly involved. You can't escape responsibility. Hui Yanyan seemed to become agitated again. Shen Mingxi didn't look angry anymore. He only felt pity and sadness. How did you become like this? What did Hu Xiqian feed you? Shen Mingxi looked at her sadly. Qin Chu. It was Qin Chu. Qin Chu fed me poison? It was Qin Chu who did this to me. Hui Yanyan didn't know if she was telling the truth or not, but she insisted that it was Qin Chu. Shen Mingxi didn't say anything. He just watched Hui Yanyan go crazy. She cried and laughed. Tiantian's with me. I'll protect her. You don't have to worry about me, Shen Mingxi whispered to Hui Yanyan. Tian Tian? Who's Tian Tian? Who's Tian Tian? Yes, she didn't even remember her own daughter. Shen Mingxi heaved a long sigh and got up. Qin Chu, don't run. I'm going to kill you. You and Huamin deserve to die. Those who hurt my mother and brother deserve to die. Hui Yanyan rushed up like a madwoman. However, two policewomen came in and grabbed her shoulders. Give her a sedative, Gao Ran said. Then, a doctor from the Municipal Public Security Bureau came in and immediately injected Hui Yanyan with a sedative. Only then did she go back to sleep. How long has she been like this? Mingxi walked out and asked. When we found her, she was much worse than this. You saw the video that went viral on the internet, right? She was running around naked in the busiest area in the city center. We found drugs in her body. She's not faking it. She's under the influence of drugs. Do you know what drugs they are? Mingxi asked again. We're not sure. Our people are analyzing it. So far, we only found some drugs that control the nerves in the brain and some snake venom that can make people lose their minds. These synthetic drugs are the most troublesome because the antidote is very difficult to make. Wuxia, that bastard. I'll never let him get away with it. Mingxi clenched his fists tightly. Young Master Xin, if you want to help Hui Yanyan get revenge on Wuxia, I have an idea, Gao Ran suddenly said. Chapter 29-20. Director Gao, please instruct me. I don't dare to instruct you. It's just my personal opinion. You know that Qin Chu and I are close friends. Of course, I'll think for him. I think you two can work together to deal with Wuxia. Qin Chu and I? Mingxi was surprised. But I don't think President Qin needs me. Mingxi knew that Qin Chu was arrogant and powerful. He didn't need his help. Are you stupid? You can do it secretly without telling him. The enemy of my enemy is my friend, Gao Ran said. This time, I won't let Wuxia off the hook. But Director Gao Yanyan, we can't let Hui Yanyan out. We plan to detain her for observation and then send her to the neurology department. She'll be a bad influence if she goes out like this. Plus, you know that she doesn't have any family left. Without a guardian, she can't even take care of herself. How can she take care of the child? I'll take care of the child. Okay, that's it. After Mingxi left the bureau, he couldn't suppress his anger. After some thought, he impulsively went to find Wuxia. It was already midnight. After leaving the bureau, he didn't go straight to the hospital. Instead, he went straight to the Hua mansion. Wuxia, you bastard, get out here. Mingxi yelled at the Hua mansion. President Xin, I'm sorry. My boss is resting. If you have anything to say, we can talk tomorrow. Tell that bastard to stop hiding. If he's a man, then get out here. Mingxi was as angry as a beast at the thought of Hui Yanyan's condition. Even if he didn't love her anymore, he didn't want to see Hui Yanyan being treated like that. Plus, Wuxia and Hui Yanyan grew up together. Even if they weren't close, they were still family. How could they be so cruel? After Mingxi yelled for a while, Wuxia finally couldn't stand it anymore and came out. He was wearing a white bathrobe and holding a glass of red wine in his hand. He looked very relaxed. So Xin, what can I do for you in the middle of the night? Wuxia, stop pretending. You know very well what you did to Hui Yanyan. What do you mean? I don't understand at all. President Xin, are you sleepwalking? Wuxia laughed. Wuxia, you'll get retribution for this. You won't even let a child go. You're inhumane. At this point, Mingxi rushed up to Wuxia excitedly and raised his fist to punch him. However, he was stopped by Wuxia's bodyguards, who then pushed him to the ground. Because Mingxi hadn't fully recovered and was still injured from the car accident, he was easily pushed to the ground. Look at you. You're not even as strong as a woman. How dare you yell at me like this? Mingxi, are you still breastfeeding? Wuxia said and poured the red wine on Mingxi. Wuxia, fuck your mother. Young Master Xin, who was well-educated, cursed for the first time. He was so angry at Wuxia that he lost his mind. I'm sorry, I don't have a mother. I only have an adoptive mother. If you're interested in that bitch, you can have her anytime. Wuxia was so shameless and perverted that Mingxi didn't know what to say. You guys, throw this kid out. I'm going to rest. After speaking, Wuxia turned and went upstairs. A few of his bodyguards carried Mingxi and threw him on the road outside the door. Some paparazzi took pictures of Mingxi, who was in a mess. The next day. Chapter 29-21. The title was ridiculous. Young Master Shen went to pick a fight with the president of the Huo Corporation in the middle of the night and was thrown out of his house. This incident caused quite a stir in the area. Even Wei Ying and the others who were hiking outside saw it. One of the girls in the group saw it when she was browsing the news on her cell phone. "Hey Ying, come here." What? Young Master Shin is on the headlines. Hearing Shin Mingxi's name, Wei Ying immediately walked over and took the cell phone. After reading the news, her expression was complicated. Why is young Master Shin picking a fight with Wuxia? Weird, the girl murmured to herself. You don't know? He must be doing it because of Hui Yanyan. Didn't you guys know about the viral video of Hui Yanyan streaking yesterday? It said that Wuxia is behind it, a man said. Why is it Wuxia? Isn't it Qin Chu? Someone asked. You guys don't understand. How could Qin Chu do something so despicable? It said that Wuxia did it to frame Qin Chu. Young Master Shin must be mad because of Hui Yanyan. He's so infatuated. Hui Yanyan cheated on him so many times, but he's still protecting her. He must be mad because of her. Hearing his words, Wei Ying's expression changed. Ying, are you okay? I'm fine. Wei Ying shook her head. At this moment, Yi Zhaoyang, who had been silent, walked over. He took off his jacket and put it on Wei Ying. It's cold in the mountains in the morning. Don't catch a cold. It's okay. I brought my own. Thank you. After refusing, Wei Ying took off the jacket and gave it back to Yi Zhaoyang. Then she went into the tent. She seemed to be in a bad mood. You guys, don't talk about Shin Mingxi and Hui Yanyan anymore, Yi Zhaoyang ordered the rich kids. Everyone knew what he meant. Yi Zhaoyang wanted to pursue Wei Ying and didn't want their relationship to be affected. South Hill Manor. Here, Mrs. Qin, your breakfast is ready. Qin Chu placed a sumptuous breakfast in front of Huamin. After the second pregnancy, Huamin didn't sleep well and woke up very early in the morning, so the couple would get up early to make breakfast. It was also exceptionally heartwarming. Huamin looked at his plate. There were 2 fried eggs, a grilled sausage, a fried beef patty, a sandwich, a plain donut, a cup of warm milk, and a few slices of pineapple and kiwi. It was so nutritious. On the other hand, Qin Chu only had simple bread, toast, and milk. How can I eat like that? It's like I'm exploiting you. Huamin joked. Go ahead and eat. There are 2 of you now. You should eat more. I'm just pregnant. I'm not a pig. I really don't need to be like this. I'm afraid I'll weigh 160 pounds after I give birth. I don't despise you for weighing 160 pounds. Qin Chu chuckled. I despise myself. Fat people don't have a future. No, you have to eat some for me. Then Huamin picked up a grilled sausage with a steel fork and brought it to Mr. Qin's mouth. The scene of the couple feeding each other was especially loving. Qin Chu opened his mouth obediently and ate the food Huamin brought over. Are you busy at work today? Do you want me to get you some documents? Huamin asked. Not much. You stay at home with the kids today. Honey, I think the war has begun. Wuxia seems to be impatient to deal with us. We can't go on like this. I think we have to strike first and kill him before he can react, Huamin suggested. I'm devising a plan. Qin Chu nodded. I have a plan. I think it's pretty good. Do you want to hear it? Huamin said and intimately wrapped her arms around Qin Chu's neck. I can tell it's not a good plan from the way you're trying to curry favor with me. I don't think you should say it. Qin Chu lowered his head and refused. Chapter 29-22. How can you do that? I haven't even said anything yet and you're already killing my idea. Can't we have fun together? Huamin pouted. As your husband, I know you very well. You don't have any good plans right now, so I don't have to listen, Qin Chu said calmly. Don't give me a chance to show off. Otherwise, a lot of people will think that I've become stupid again after getting pregnant. Ha. After Huamin finished speaking, she kissed Qin Chu on the cheek and began her sugar-coated attack. Mr. Qin had never been able to resist his wife, so in the end his heart softened. Then let's hear it. Qin Chu took a bite of bread and looked at Huamin. Calm down, listen to me slowly. My plan is like this. After speaking, Huamin whispered her idea into Qin Chu's ear. After hearing what she said, Qin Chu's face immediately darkened. Honey, what do you think? Huamin looked excited. Very good, it's a great plan. Huamian, you're so smart. Really? Huamin asked with a smile. You have the nerve to ask me if it's real or not. Huamian, are you asking for a beating? What kind of bullshit plan is that? Mr. Qin was so angry that he threw the bread onto the table. I think it's great. Huasiqian has always been on guard against you. Whether it's you, Su Yu, or Gao Ran, none of you can do anything to him. But I'm different, I can lower his guard. As long as I can lure him out, then we'll all be caught in one fell swoop. Huamin raised her little fist, full of confidence. So you came up with the stupid idea of using yourself as bait? Qin Chu questioned coldly. It's not a bad idea. I think it's pretty good. As the saying goes, you can't trap a wolf without sacrificing your child. You can't trap a hoodlum without sacrificing your wife, Huamin quibbled. I'm sorry, but I really don't want to leave my wife, and I don't want to be a hooligan, Mr. Qin denied. Huamin, hubby, don't be like this. Let's discuss it again. There's no need to discuss. That's impossible. Even if I die, I won't let you lure the snake out of its hole. Just give up. Qin Chu's attitude was firm. Honey, look at the situation we're in now. I'm doing this for the good of our family. I have a way. You don't have to worry about this. You're pregnant now, so you have to take care of yourself and the girls. I'm a man, your husband, and the father of the children. I have the responsibility to protect this family. That's all. After that, Qin Chu got up, picked up his briefcase, and left the room. It was obvious that Huamin's rotten idea had really annoyed him. He didn't even give her a goodbye kiss before he left. He did it every day. What? I seem to have angered my husband. Huamin pouted awkwardly. The truth was she had thought about this for a long time and thought it was feasible before she said it. Plus, this was the first time she had made up her mind to kill Huasiqian. She had many chances before, but Huamin still relented. However, she didn't expect that things would get more troublesome. So this time, Huamin decided that no matter what others said about her, she had to destroy Huasiqian completely. Otherwise, the whole family wouldn't have a good life. This was the undeniable truth. At the Hua Corporation, Qing, go to Linxing tonight and bring back all my weapons, Huasiqian ordered. Boss, are we going to war? Qing knew exactly how much firepower Huasiqian had in Linxing. Chapter 29-23. Huasiqian smiled slightly but didn't say anything. Go, bring a few more people with you. Don't let anything go wrong. Spus. Huasiqian nodded. Then, Qing turned around and walked out. After making sure no one was behind him, he immediately took out his phone and called Qin Chu. Mr. Qin, they're already preparing to make a move. I'm going to Linxing tonight to get some weapons. He's been saving them over the years. They're very powerful. Okay, got it. Qin Chu's face was still calm as if this had nothing to do with him. I'm leaving tonight. It'll probably be after midnight when I get back. Be careful. Okay. Mr. Qin, the child's heart surgery has been completed. Thank you. Qing thanked Qin Chu from the bottom of his heart. Although Qin Chu was also suspected of being a threat, he indirectly saved the child during the heart surgery. He wasn't like Huasiqian, who was so heartless that he didn't even let go of Hui Yanyan's 5-year-old daughter. Qing didn't know when it started, but he felt like he had changed. For some reason, he felt at ease when he was working for Qin Chu. After Qing left, Huasiqian's gaze became subtle. Then, he picked up his phone and dialed a number. Wait for my order, get ready to move. Then, Huasiqian hung up the phone with a creepy smile on his face. After Hui Yanyan's incident, a large number of ghostwriters appeared on all major forums, and they even exposed a recording. Hui Yanyan said Qin Chu's name herself. This completely targeted Qin Chu. That day, GK was surrounded by all major media outlets. Some self-proclaimed righteous people even brought eggs and mineral water to Qin Chu's company to cause trouble and curse. Gao Ran had no choice but to bring the police to protect the company, but they were accused of colluding with the police. This incident had a very bad impact on the local community. The head of the public security department directly called Gao Ran's phone to question him. Mayor Yen also sternly reprimanded Gao Ran for his incompetence. Huamin was at home. When he saw the live broadcast on TV, he started to feel uneasy. How did this happen? What's going on, Mian? Qin Chu's parents were also confused when they saw the news. I believe that he will handle it well. Sis-in-law, this Hui Yinyan is so disgusting. Her mother is dead, but she's still haunting you. Why don't you just kill her so that she won't cause any more trouble? Qi Ning was also furious. It had been a long time since the group had been pushed to the teeth of the storm. Qin Chu's situation was a bit troublesome, but it was not to the point of being in a terrible situation. Qin Chu knew that this was Hua Xiqian's little trick. Group headquarters Qin Chu picked up his phone and made a video call to Huamin. Honey, how's the company? I saw a lot of reporters surrounding the company. Do you want to hold a press conference? Huamin asked anxiously. No, it's okay. Have you had lunch? No, how can I eat? I'm in a hurry. Dad and Mom are worried about you too. Good girl, eat first. Don't starve. Qin Chu's eyes were filled with gentleness. But, Mian, the situation is a bit different now. Listen to me. Okay. You Mom, Dad, Ning Ning and the kids don't go out. Don't even take one step out of our house. Okay. I hope that after tonight everything will be over, Qin Chu said. Okay, I'll listen to you, honey. Huamin seemed to understand the meaning behind Qin Chu's words. It seemed that the war with Hua Xiqian was about to start. After hanging up the video call, Huamin told him what Qin Chu said. 2 hours later, the kids went downstairs to play with their grandparents in the living room. Qin Ning was video chatting with Tang Chuan in the room. Huamin felt a bit sleepy, so she went back to the master bedroom to sleep. In her sleep, she vaguely felt that someone was slowly approaching her. Chapter 29-24. Huamin sensed danger and tried to wake up, but she couldn't. In the afternoon, Qin Chu video called Huamin after he finished his work. But she didn't pick up. He sent her a WeChat message. He called her. Qin Chu immediately panicked. He called the landline, and Pudding picked up. Daddy. Pudding called out sweetly. Pudding, where's your mommy? She's upstairs. She went back to her room to rest an hour ago. She looks very tired, Pudding said. I called her, but she didn't pick up. I sent her a WeChat message, but she didn't reply. Then what's going on? Pudding was curious because she knew that her mommy was a light sleeper. She would wake up at the slightest sound, so she could hear the phone ringing. Go up and see. Okay. Hurry up. Qin Chu was very anxious. Pudding didn't hang up and immediately ran upstairs. She gently knocked on the door, afraid that she would scare her mommy. Mommy, are you in there? After 5 seconds of not getting a reply, Pudding gently pushed the door open. Pudding let out a sigh of relief when she saw the person on the bed. Phew. She's sleeping, Pudding murmured. Pudding saw Huamin lying on the bed, wearing her favorite nightgown, with her back to the door. Her back rose and fell slightly. It seemed like she hadn't woken up yet. Pudding gently closed the door, walked out, and picked up the phone. Daddy, Mommy is sleeping. You saw it with your own eyes? Qin Chu asked. Yeah, I saw it. I just opened the door and she's inside. She's probably in a deep sleep and didn't hear me. Or maybe her phone is on silent. Do you want me to wake her up? Pudding asked. Forget it. Maybe she's too nervous and didn't sleep well last night. Let her sleep. Okay. Daddy, is there anything else? Is there anything wrong at home? Is there anything strange going on? Or did someone strange come? Qin Chu asked worriedly. No, just like usual. That's good. Then you and your sister shouldn't run around. I might send you to the Su family tonight. Go to the Su family? I'll tell you about this later. Anyway, listen to me. Okay, don't worry, Daddy. Pudding nodded obediently. Afterwards, Qin Chu hung up the phone with his daughter. Then Qin Chu called Su. However, in order to prevent their conversation from being monitored, Qin Chu asked Su Yu to meet him at the company. Su Yu happened to be having a meal with a few directors nearby. Halfway through the meal, he received a call and rushed over. President Qin, President Su is here. Yes, let him in. All right. Assistant Yang brought Su Yu into the CEO's office. You don't seem to ask me out often. Something big must have happened, right? Su Yu went straight to the point. Take a seat first. Su Yu nodded and sat down on the sofa across from Qin Chu. Tonight, I might have to ask you for a favor. What is it? Su Yu was slightly surprised. After dark, take Mion and the kids to your house for a night. My house? Su Yu was even more confused. It's not your private mansion, it's Grandpa Su's house, Qin Chu corrected her. Why so sudden? Su Yu knew that Qin Chu wouldn't let his wife and kids stay over for no reason. Because Lord Su's place is heavily guarded, Qin Chu said straightforwardly. Only then did Su Yu react. He asked in a serious tone, Are you planning to fight with Wuxia? Chapter 29-25. Yeah. You didn't tell me in advance. Why should I tell you? Su Yu was speechless. I want to work with you to deal with that bastard. I have as many men as you do. So you said, no need. Su Yu was speechless. Why not? Su Yu was confused. I'm not at the point where I need my love rival to help me. Mr. Qin said faintly. Su Yu was speechless. Is this the time for you to be so arrogant? Su Yu was on the verge of breaking down. Qin Chu really made him speechless. No. Are you being reasonable? Is this the time for you to be willful? Su Yu was angry. Is Wuxia that easy to deal with? Su Yu tried to persuade Qin Chu. That won't do either. Qin Chu looked calm. Damn, Su Yu was completely speechless at this moment. It was so tiring to communicate with Qin Chu. No matter what he said, he would only reply with one sentence. Su Yu really wanted to run over and ask Huamin how he could stand such a boring man. How could he continue to be in love with him for 10 years? If I were a woman, I definitely wouldn't be with you. What the hell? Su Yu accused Qin Chu angrily. Mr. Qin replied with a serious expression, If you were a woman, I wouldn't want you either. Because you're too ugly, Qin Chu said. Su Yu was speechless. Can't we have a pleasant conversation? Do you want to fight? Su Yu was angry and amused. It's settled then. Go pick them up at South Hill Manor at 6 p.m. Qin Chu looked down at his watch. Just Mion and the kids? Su Yu confirmed. Yes. What about Qin Ning and your parents? Ning Ning will be taken care of by Tang Chuan. I'll send someone to take care of my parents, but I don't think Wuxia will care about my parents. I'm worried about the kids and Mion. That's true. All right, it's settled then. After that, Su Yu got up and walked out. Thank you, Qin Chu thanked Su Yu even though it was very cold and stiff. No need. I'm not doing this for you, Su Yu said without turning his head. When he reached the door, Su Yu paused and whispered, Be careful. He knew that the battle between Qin Chu and Wuxia would happen sooner or later. Wuxia had been plotting for years to take Huamin away from Qin Chu. How could Qin Chu, who loved his wife so much, allow such a thing to happen? Both men had high IQs and were influential figures. Such a battle would probably be earth-shattering, right? That was what Su Yu thought, however. He didn't expect Wuxia to be such an unpredictable person. An hour later, Qin Chu thought Huamin was about to wake up. He called her again and wanted to tell her about going to Su Yu's house tonight. Unfortunately, she still didn't pick up his call or reply to his WeChat message. Qin Chu had a bad feeling about this, so he didn't call home this time. Instead, he turned on his computer and pulled up the real-time surveillance footage. He found the master bedroom and turned it on. As expected, he saw Huamin sleeping on the bed. She was wearing her favorite light pink nightgown. Her shoulder-length hair was black and thick. Even though she had given birth twice and was pregnant with her second child, her body was still as slender as a young girl's. Qin Chu's gaze softened. Just as he was about to turn off the video, his hand froze. Suddenly, his hand paused, and he stared at the screen for more than 10 seconds. That person isn't Mian. After Qin Chu said this, his face turned pale. Chapter 29-26. When he realized this, Qin Chu broke out in a cold sweat for the first time. He regretted that he didn't observe the situation more carefully earlier. When he asked Pudding to check on Huamian's room, Pudding said that Huamian was sleeping. Huamin's back was facing the door, which meant that Huamin was sleeping on the left side. Qin Chu turned on the surveillance camera and found that Huamian was still sleeping on the left side. This was definitely abnormal. Although it was only a small detail, Qin Chu knew that it was a big deal. Huamin was a medical student and cared a lot about his health. It was the most basic knowledge of medicine. Sleeping on the left side was not a healthy position because most people's hearts were on the left side. Sleeping on the left side would put pressure on the heart. Therefore, Huamin spent most of his time lying on his back or on the right side. Even if he changed his position and slept on the left side, it wouldn't last long. However, it had been a long time since he called Pudding, but the person on the bed was still in the same position. This could only mean two things. First, she wasn't Huamin. Second, she was hiding her identity by turning her back to the door. She didn't want her family to find out, and she also turned her back to the surveillance camera so that Qin Chu wouldn't find out. 10 seconds later, Qin Chu jumped up, kicked open the office door, and ran out. "President Qin, where are you going?" Yang was also worried when he saw how panicked the president was. After all, he had been working for the president for so long and had never seen him so anxious. Qin Chu didn't have time to go to the underground parking lot. He drove a domestic Volkswagen that belonged to an unknown employee and sped all the way. It was rush hour and he was stuck in a traffic jam. Qin Chu honked furiously and called Huamin, but he still didn't pick up. At this time, he didn't dare to call home and ask them to go to the master bedroom. He was unsure of the identity of the person who had impersonated Huamin. If it was an assassin sent by Wuxia, then wouldn't his family be in danger? On the other side, Qin Chu told Suyu to go to South Hill Manor to pick him up after dark. However, Suyu could not wait for the sky to turn dark. If Qin Chu really wanted to deal with Wuxia tonight, he would not be able to do it. In that case, South Hill Manor would definitely be very dangerous. Therefore, he and drove a limited edition Rolls-Royce to pick up the children and Huamin. South Hill Manor, the nanny opened the door for Suyu. When he walked in, the twins, who were playing in the living room, jumped up happily. "Oh, it's handsome Sue." Little Bean's eyes widened. "Handsome Sue, why are you here?" Pudding asked calmly. "I'm here to bring you guys to my house." "Where's your mommy?" "Mommy is sleeping upstairs," Little Bean said. "What kind of sleep is she sleeping? What time is it?" "Go and wake her up." Suyu smiled. "Suyu, what do you mean?" Qin Ning was a little confused when she saw Suyu suddenly come to pick them up. She even felt a little unfriendly. "This is between your brother and me. Don't worry about it. Hurry up and pack up. Go and find Tang Chuan." Suyu waved his hand. "What's going on?" "My brother also asked me to find Tang Chuan." "What's going on?" Qin Ning did not seem to know. "Don't ask what you shouldn't ask. It must be for your own good. Hurry up and go if you don't want your brother to be distracted," Suyu said. Qin Ning wanted to say something, but in the end she opened her mouth but did not say anything. Little Bean climbed into Suyu's arms like a little monkey and began to act like a spoiled child. Pudding followed his instructions and went upstairs to wake up Huamin, to her surprise. Chapter 29-27. Mommy, wake up. Pudding knocked on the door, but she didn't get a response. "Mommy, wake up. Uncle Sue is here. I think he wants to talk to you." Pudding raised her voice, but she still didn't get a response. Pudding thought it was strange and slowly opened the door. She saw her mommy sleeping in the same position. "Mommy!" Pudding tried to raise her voice. At this time, even those who were asleep would be woken up by the noise. But Huamin still didn't respond. Pudding was anxious. She rushed over and shook Huamin's body. Mommy, what's wrong with you? As soon as Pudding finished speaking, the woman on the bed got up and grabbed Pudding by the neck. Pudding couldn't breathe and felt uncomfortable. Little bastard, we meet again. Zhang Manlin smiled viciously. Why, is it you? Pudding didn't expect the person on the bed at home to be the bitch Zhang Manlin. How could you have thought of that? Hua Xiqian's plan was perfect. He tricked everyone by swapping out the real person. Let go of me. Let go of you? Is that possible? I'm counting on you to leave South Hill Manor safely. Zhang Manlin smiled viciously. My mommy, where is she? Pudding realized that her mommy might have disappeared a long time ago. When her daddy called, she might have seen Zhang Manlin. Your mommy is done for this time. You'll never see her again. What did you do to her? You evil woman. Pudding glared at Zhang Manlin, wanting to eat her up. I can't decide whether your mommy lives or dies. You'll have to ask Hua Xiqian. Bitch, I'll kill you. Pudding suddenly struggled with all her strength and reached out to grab Zhang Manlin's neck. Zhang Manlin didn't expect the kid to be this strong. Her neck was scratched and bled. She shoved Pudding to the ground, knocking the porcelain vase off the table behind her. The vase fell to the ground and shattered into pieces with a loud crack. Suyu was playing with Little Bean downstairs. Hearing that something was wrong, he immediately rushed upstairs. This was the scene he saw when he came up. Zhang Manlin held a sharp dagger against Pudding's neck. She grabbed Pudding by the collar as if she was grabbing a chick, showing no mercy. Zhang Manlin, why are you here? Suyu asked in surprise. Handsome Su, she works for Hua Xiqian. She replaced Mommy with Hua Xiqian. Mommy is in Hua Xiqian's hands now. Hurry and tell Daddy to save her. Pudding's logical thinking was very clear. Even at such a critical moment, she was still able to concisely and completely narrate the whole thing. After hearing what she said, Su Yu's expression changed drastically. Zhang Manlin, where's Hua Min? Su Yu clenched his fists. He wanted to tear Zhang Manlin into pieces to vent his anger. How would I know? She was taken away by Hua Xiqian a few hours ago. I'm just following Hua Xiqian's orders and pretending to be Hua Min. What did you say? Su Yu's expression became more and more unsightly. A few hours ago, she was already in Hua Xiqian's hands? Didn't that mean? He didn't dare to think further. Handsome Su, kill this woman. Don't let her walk out of here alive. Don't worry about me. Pudding looked at Su Yu calmly and said word by word. Chapter 29-28. Pudding, what the hell are you talking about? Su Yu was exasperated. I'm serious. Don't worry about me. But don't let this bitch out. Pudding was ready to risk everything. Kid, you're wrong. Su Yu loves you so much. How could he let you die? My life isn't as valuable as yours. Zhang Manlin laughed. Zhang Manlin, let go of Pudding and I'll let you go. Su Yu was scared that Zhang Manlin would hurt Pudding by accident. I don't believe you. Get out of my way. I want to take her out. I'll only let her go when I'm sure it's safe, Zhang Manlin insisted. Handsome Su, don't believe her. You can't let her go. Pudding didn't want to let Zhang Manlin go. It was obvious how much she hated her. Why should I believe you? What if you still hold Pudding hostage after you get out? Su Yu asked angrily. Because you don't have a choice. You can only trust me. Either you let me go, and I'll take the brat out. Once we're safe, you'll let her go. I'll kill the brat now, and then you'll kill me. I don't care if we die together. My life is worthless. How can it compare to President Qin's precious daughter? From Zhang Manlin's expression, it was obvious that she wasn't normal. She was crazy. Because her face was disfigured, she looked extremely ferocious. Damn woman, let go of my sister. My daddy won't let you go. Pudding was also anxious. She pointed at Zhang Manlin and cursed. Your daddy? He can't even protect himself. How can he deal with me? Su Yu, what should we do? Qin Ning was also out of ideas. The two elders of the Qin family were so scared that they were about to have a heart attack. They were taken to a room to rest. In the living room, only Pudding, Qin Ning, and Su Yu were there. Then, Zhang Manlin held Pudding hostage with a dagger. The scene was extremely frightening. What? Do you still want to think about it? Zhang Manlin saw that Su Yu wasn't willing to let her go. Anxious, he exerted some force on the dagger. She felt a sharp pain, but Pudding didn't make a sound. Because she knew that Su Yu was already anxious enough. If she cried because of the pain, Su Yu would be even more anxious. But there were already bloodstains on Whitey's neck. Little bastard, you've got guts. You didn't say anything? Zhang Manlin lowered her head and smiled sinisterly. Bitch Zhang, fuck your ancestors. If you dare to hurt my sister, I'll kill your whole family. Do you believe me? Little Bean had never been so violent before. Although she often quarreled with her sister, their relationship as sisters was actually very good. Last time, they were kidnapped by He Yongjun and Shinjiani. Little Bean was injured and Pudding risked her life to fight the two criminals to give her sister an injection. Therefore, when Little Bean saw Zhang Manlin threaten her sister with a knife, her heart raced. I just like to see you hate me but can't kill me. Zhang Manlin was extremely arrogant. Handsome Su, listen to me. You can't let this woman go. She's an untrustworthy person. Once she gets out, she won't let me go. Pudding calmly tried to persuade Su Yu. Pudding. No, I can't watch you like this. Su Yu felt a dull pain in his heart. It was a very difficult choice. Su Yu, don't be a sissy. I'll count to 3. If you don't let me go, I'll kill this little girl right here, Zhang Manlin threatened. Chapter 29-29. Go ahead. Even if you kill me, you won't be able to get out. My dad will skin you alive and tear out your tendons. He'll make you wish you were dead. Pudding glared at Zhang Manlin. So what? No matter how you torture me, you won't be able to come back to life. Zhang Manlin grasped this point and was very arrogant. Zhang Manlin, are you evil? You won't even let a child go. Are you even human? Qin Ning pointed at Zhang Manlin and yelled with tears in her eyes. Shut up. If it weren't for this family, I wouldn't have ended up like this. These two damned girls colluded with Qin Chu and tricked me, causing me to be tortured by Huasiqian. I'll never forget it. Of course, Huasiqian is my enemy, and so are you. If I have to destroy one side, then I'll choose Huasiqian to destroy you. I just don't want to see you happy and reunited with your family. Qin Chu cares about his wife and daughter the most, right? Then I'll lose him completely today. Huamin is already in Huasiqian's hands. If this little brat dies in my hands, then my wish will be fulfilled. So, Su Yu, it doesn't matter if you let me go or not. It's enough for me to die with this little girl. Zhang Manlin was provoking Su Yu with her words. Su Yu's expression changed again and again. He didn't know what to do. He couldn't risk Pudding's life. If something really happened to Pudding, Huamin would never forgive him. He knew that. Handsome Su, don't be provoked by this woman's words. She's doing it on purpose. She's afraid of death. She just wants you to let her go, Pudding said. Just then, a voice came from the living room door. Let go of my daughter. The voice was cold. Who else could it be but Mr. Qin? Big brother, you're finally back. What should we do? Sister-in-law is missing. Qin Ning cried when she saw Qin Chu. Daddy, please save sister and mommy. This bad woman made sister's neck bleed. Little Bean ran over and hugged Qin Chu's leg. Qin Chu got up and carried Little Bean in his arms with one hand. He looked very handsome. You came back just in time. You decide. Seeing that Qin Chu had returned, Su Yu also breathed a sigh of relief. This man always had a way to solve all these problems, didn't he? Su Yu felt that Qin Chu was indeed much calmer than him in certain aspects. President Qin, long time no see. I've missed you so much. Zhang Manlin looked at Qin Chu with a strange smile. Indeed, it's you. On the way back, Qin Chu wondered if it was a female assassin pretending to be Huamin. After all, Huamin's body was lying there for a few hours. His family could easily recognize it, unless they found someone who looked like Huamin's figure and back. Zhang Manlin was the best candidate. Yeah, it's me. I'm just like a ghost. If you want to blame someone, Blame yourself for being soft-hearted and not killing me. That's why you left behind trouble. Where's my wife? Xianxia asked. Do you think I'll tell you? Zhang Manlin smiled viciously. Daddy, don't worry about me. Kill her and avenge Mommy. This woman switched Mommy. Pudding looked into Xianxia's eyes and said, Let me go or I'll kill her right now. Zhang Manlin put more force into the knife. Blood oozed out of Pudding's neck. It was terrifying. Don't hurt my daughter and I'll let you go, Xianxia said decisively. Chapter 29:30. Daddy. Pudding wanted to say something but Xianxia gave her a look. She immediately understood what her daddy meant and didn't say anything else. Big brother, are we really going to let her go? What if she hurts Pudding again? Qin Ning asked worriedly. Let her go. Xianxia was determined. Then, the bodyguards behind him opened the door to the living room. Zhang Manlin looked around cautiously and then walked out with Pudding. When they passed by the swimming pool, Xianxia coughed lightly. Pudding immediately used her head to slam into Zhang Manlin's stomach. She lost her balance and leaned back. The knife in her hand also lost its center of gravity and flew out. Behind them was the swimming pool. Pudding and Zhang Manlin both fell into the water. Xianxia immediately put down Pudding in his arms. His first reaction was to jump into the pool and carry his daughter out. Then, the bodyguards rushed up and grabbed Zhang Manlin. They pulled her out of the pool. My brother is so cool, Qin Ning was excited. In their eyes, such a serious matter was solved by Xianxia in less than 2 minutes. Most importantly, Xianxia and Pudding had a tacit understanding. The father and daughter knew what to do with just one look. Go and bandage Pudding's wound. Xianxia handed Pudding to Suyu. Sis, how are you? Does it hurt? Pudding leaned over and cried. I'm fine. Don't cry. Pudding comforted her sister gently. Handsome Su, don't worry about me. Go find my mommy. We can't let Huasiqian take her away. Pudding didn't forget to remind Suyu. Don't worry. Leave it to me and your daddy. Don't worry. Just bandage your wound. Suyu also felt bad for Pudding. She was still thinking about her mommy at a time like this. Xianxia was wearing a black long-sleeved shirt with the sleeves rolled up to his elbows. He slowly walked over and saw Zhang Manlin in a sorry state. Don't waste your time. I'm not going to tell you where Huamin is. You'll never see her again, Zhang Manlin said viciously. Xianxia picked up the dagger that Zhang Manlin had used before. Then, he suddenly stabbed the knife into Zhang Manlin's waist. It wasn't a fatal spot, but the pain was unbearable. Unable to withstand the sudden pain, Zhang Manlin screamed in agony. At this moment, she was even less courageous than Pudding, wailing like a ghost and howling like a wolf. Don't worry, I won't ask you. I just want to avenge my daughter, that's all. With that, Xianxia pulled out the dagger from Zhang Manlin's waist, then he stabbed the other side. Xianxia, what kind of hero are you? How could you torture a woman like this? Zhang Manlin cursed. Heroes? I've never been one. With that, Xianxia slowly grabbed the dagger and pulled it out again. Blood began to flow from both sides of Zhang Manlin's waist. Just when she thought it was all over, Xianxia stabbed the dagger into the middle of her stomach again. Very good. It's not fatal, but it'll hurt you forever. Xianxia looked at his masterpiece with satisfaction. He was from medical school, so he knew the structure of the human body too well. This stab avoided all the vital parts. It wouldn't kill Zhang Manlin, but it would make her life worse than death. Xianxia, you get what you deserve. Zhang Manlin cursed with difficulty. Chapter 29:31. Retribution? I've never believed in such things. I only know that I'm in control of my own fate, not the heavens. Xianxia said calmly. You're going to lose Huamin this time. No, I've never lost her. You will. This time is different. Huasiqian's plan for all these years has been activated. Zhang Manlin, a woman like you, do you know what's best for you? Xianxia stared into her eyes and asked word for word. You want me to cut you into 8 pieces, right? Ha! Zhang Manlin laughed maniacally. No, to deal with you, I can only vent my anger by burning you to ashes. Then, Qin Chu pulled out the dagger from Zhang Manlin's abdomen again. The 3 wounds bled at the same time. It was very fast. Zhang Manlin felt that she was about to faint. Then, her body went limp and she fell backward. The bodyguards couldn't hold her up. Qin Chu looked at the despicable woman on the ground and pulled out his gun from behind him. He picked up the cushion on the side and shot Zhang Manlin in the head. This shot directly blew her head off. The bodyguards were also shocked. Drag her out, burn her, and throw her into the sea. Qin Chu ordered. Yes. Yes, he was really going to burn Zhang Manlin to ashes. He thought that this woman couldn't be arrogant anymore and should go back to the mountains to retire. He didn't want to be involved in the war between Qin and Hua because of hatred. After taking care of Zhang Manlin, Qin Chu returned to the infirmary. Pudding's neck was already bandaged. Daddy. Pudding hugged Qin Chu's neck. You were scared just now, right? I'm sorry, Daddy came back late. Qin Chu gently patted Pudding's back and comforted his daughter. No, Daddy is very strong. By the way, where's that bad woman? She's dead, she won't appear again, Qin Chu replied. Okay then Daddy, let's go and save Mommy. Okay, leave it to Daddy. Pudding, you and your sister go with Uncle Su to Great-Grandpa's house first. Daddy, we're not leaving. We want to go with you to save Mommy. Little Bean pouted. With you here, Daddy will be more easily distracted. Qin Chu patiently explained to his daughter. Pudding, Little Bean, come with me. When everything is over, come back. I believe that your daddy will bring your mommy back safely. Su Yu also tried to persuade the twins. In the end, the 2 children nodded and got into the car reluctantly, and took care of the twins while Su Yu stayed behind to talk to Qin Chu alone. Do you know where Huamin is now? Su Yu asked Qin Chu. I don't know. I think she might still be in the Hua family's villa. Isn't the most dangerous place the safest place? Let's go there and look. Maybe the Hua family's villa has a secret passage or something. So you guessed? Leave it to me. Just take good care of my daughters. At a time like this, there's strength in numbers. The kids will be fine at my house. My grandpa's security system is so strong that even 10 Huasiqians wouldn't be able to break through it, let alone Huasiqian. Plus, now that he has Huasiqian, he won't be so bored as to come back and get the kids. So, I'll help you look for her. Qin Chu didn't say anything. It was obvious that Huamin's sudden disappearance was a big blow to Qin Chu. He had never expected that Huasiqian would swap Huamian out in the middle of the day. Huamian had mysteriously disappeared without a trace. Plus, he didn't receive any news from Aching. Chapter 29-32. Bro, say something. Seeing Qin Chu's silence, Su Yu felt bad. He suddenly realized how important Huamin was to Qin Chu. Damn it. Huasiqian is a bastard. If I catch him this time, I'll kill him for sure. Even if I have to go to jail for 20 years, it'll be worth it. He's such a scourge. Su Yu cursed. He wanted to strangle Huasiqian. But Qin Chu still didn't say a word. Qin Chu. Su Yu was about to say something. Qin Chu looked up at him and said slowly, Su Yu, take care of my daughter. What are you doing? Are you trying to kill him? Do you know where he is? I said I'd go to the Hua mansion with you. Why didn't you go? Su Yu started nagging. Qin Chu, on the other hand, was even more taciturn than usual in the face of such an important event. Hey, Qin Chu, where are you going? Seeing Qin Chu leave, Su Yu was even more anxious. I'll find Mian. With that, Qin Chu turned around and left South Hill Manor. Tang Chuan had also rushed over after receiving the news. He drove a flashy new car, an orange Lamborghini. Ning Ning, what's going on? Tang Chuan was confused. My sister-in-law is missing. My brother is worried sick. Qi Ning answered with tears in her eyes. Sister-in-law is missing? How is that possible? She's still alive. How can she disappear at home? Tang Chuan knew that the Qin family had been on high alert recently. How could Huamin disappear in broad daylight? I don't know what Wuxia did. When I went upstairs, I saw that she wasn't in the room. Only Zhang Manlin was there. Zhang Manlin? What the hell is going on? Tang Chuan was even more confused. Qin Ning cried like a pear blossom in the rain. After returning to China, so many things had happened. Sometimes Qin Ning felt helpless. She wanted to share her brother's burden, but she couldn't help it all. Ning Ning, be a good girl. Don't cry. We can talk about it slowly, okay? Tang Chuan saw that Qin Ning's eyes were red from crying. He comforted her and put his arm around her shoulders. Qin Ning, on the other hand, sobbed intermittently as she recounted what had happened. Motherfucker, Wuxia is so fucking awesome. It's broad daylight and he's trying to switch us out. Tang Chuan was furious when he heard what Wuxia said. What I'm worried about is where my sister-in-law went. Qin Ning sobbed. Where are the twins? Tang Chuan asked. They were taken away by Suyu. My brother told me that he might fight Wuxia to the death. Come to my house first, it's probably not safe here. I'll get someone to start looking for my sister-in-law. We'll definitely find her. She won't go far. Even if she leaves by plane, it's not easy to get through the airport security. My dad and the person in charge of the airport are good friends, so don't worry about it. Tang Chuan rarely bragged to Qin Ning about his abilities. This was the first time he did it, so he didn't want Qin Ning to worry. But it was true that the Tang family was very powerful in this city. Qin Ning's mood improved a lot after hearing this. She nodded and got into Tang Chuan's car, leaving with him. Qin Chu also arranged for the two elders of the Qin family and Huamin's mother to live in another place with special protection. In Su Yu's car, the twins didn't say a word. It was like heaven compared to their usual lively selves. Hey, you two, say something. I'm really worried. Su Yu felt bad for the twins. Seeing them in low spirits made him feel bad too. You're tuning in to the Wang Lin's Journey YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.